What's going on, everyone? This is Ala Alarashi back with another video podcast. And in this one, I'm exploring the question: was Nick Nurse holding Malachi Flynn back? Now, if you have been watching the Raptors, you kind of seen his progress throughout these last four games. So let's take a look at what that might mean for the Raptors and if indeed Nick Nurse is the one to blame for the lack of playing time for Malachi Flynn. Now, if you are watching this video, there's probably a good chance that you are not subscribed, so I would appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and continue to support this channel. Now, straight into it. The last four games, Malachi Flynn has been absolutely tremendous for the team. He's been the minutes that the Raptors have needed in the guard position in the absence of Fred VanVleet and the fact that OG Anunoby also has been away for quite some time now with a finger injury, right? So the last four games, Malachi Flynn, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 64% shooting, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. These two games have been against the Nets, 54% shooting, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He wasn't that great against the Detroit Pistons, although I would have argued to keep him in the game in that last play to have another shooting option. 67% shooting in that game. And then the most recent one against the Magic, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists on 50% shooting. So as you can tell, he's been making the right decisions as well and shooting at a high percentage. Now, the Nick Nurse has been holding back Malachi Flynn, in my opinion. I mean, there was a report that, not a report, it was kind of after the game against, I believe, the Detroit Pistons, where Nick Nurse made a comment about the lack of playing time that Malachi Flynn has been having. And I think that he's wrong in this sense, right? So he's been looking at it in the fact that, oh, if you are not producing, then we're not going to be playing you. But that's a lot of pressure for a young guy that hasn't been getting the confidence from his coach to be playing that well in the first place. I feel like he's been looking over his back every single time since the beginning of the season and hasn't been producing the way we thought. And he's fooled everyone. I'm saying Nick Nurse has fooled everyone into thinking that Malachi Flynn was a scrub. We were out there looking for trades to kind of replace Flynn. We were looking at Delano Banton to kind of replace him in that point guard position. But Malachi Flynn has been progressing, and he's been playing better than ever. And it doesn't look like he's been phased either. And this is the type of confidence that you need from your coach. Now, Nick Nurse hasn't been doing the best in that sense. And I think it also has to play with Malachi Flynn's father playing a role in terms of backlash, in terms of the news reports and saying stuff about Nick Nurse and how he's treating his son. But I think it's justified, to be honest. And Nick Nurse has to get over his ego in this sense and his style of play, where he's playing guys a lot of minutes, almost similar to what Tom Thibodeau has been doing or had been doing with the Chicago Bulls and now with the New York Knicks. Nick Nurse has to stop this nonsense with playing Fred VanVleet 38 minutes a game. Let's get some solid minutes from Malachi Flynn, and I think that's possible. So I feel like Nick Nurse has been holding back Malachi Flynn, and if you're looking at some of the highlights here, so if we're looking at some of the highlights here, it's been insane. So he's also been shooting the three really well, but he's also been getting out there and he's pushing the ball and he's looking for a nice play. And this one against the Marcus Aldridge against the Brooklyn Nets, he just broke him down. And he got that nice layup. And that only happens if you have confidence. Again, Malachi Flynn here with a corner three in a zone. He's able to hit that shot. That's something that Malachi Flynn can do for the team. In this next play here, we have Malachi Flynn hitting another jumper, or a three-pointer, I should say. And you can tell that he's not phased since the beginning of the game. And playing a lot of those minutes, he's able to gain that confidence. And his teammates are passing him the ball as well, showing that they also trust him in those situations. And Malachi Flynn has been also showing that he's able to give up the ball in the right situations here for Siakam. And then even more importantly, on the break. So pushing the ball, he's a very fast, quick guy. And he gets the ball up, and he's even getting guys involved like Precious so that his confidence also goes up. And that's something you need from your point guard. And I believe in this sense, if Flynn gets his minutes, he'll perform the way he needs to and to the caliber that we want him to play. as fans, but also for Nick Nurse. He has to let go of the idea that without Fred VanVleet or Anunoby or Siakam playing 40 plus minutes, that there's no way to win. He needs to trust his guys. He needs to let them play, let them gain that confidence in meaningful minutes, not just in garbage minutes or against teams that are not, or games that are meaningless. So we need to show that we want to make it to the playoffs and not just the play in, right? We are in a good position. We got to stop losing to teams that are winnable games, right? So against the Detroit and the Magic, I don't know what it is, but we keep losing to the worst teams in the NBA and then play so competitive against the best teams in the NBA. That needs to be fixed. But in this case, Malachi Flynn has definitely been held back by Nick Nurse, and I would love for him to play more minutes. Hopefully, Nick Nurse gets the message here that Flynn is unfazed and he's able to step up to the task and show that he's a capable player.